Terence T, thank you for being here. You are a professor at the ESCP Europe London campus. You are the director of the new MSc Digital Transformation and Leadership. You're also co-founder and executive director of Nexus Frontier Tech. And you've just published a book that you wrote with Mark Esposito and Danny Go. Its title is The AI Republic, Building the Nexus Between Humans and Intelligent Automation. So first question, we hear a lot, we read a lot about AI, but in business it doesn't seem to be massive yet. There is no AI everywhere in business. So how can we go further and implement AI into business?
First, thank you very much for having me here today, Thibault.
Our pleasure.
To answer the question, right, it is true that companies have been very, very slow in taking up AI, and I think there are a number of reasons, and these are things that companies need to actually think through in order to speed up the process. Mm-hmm. One is that I think it's still very costly because AI right now has to actually be it has to be customized for the purpose of a business. Second, what AI can do right now is very, very limited. What it means is that it can only serve a very specific and narrow function, and businesses or executives, they would really have to think through what exactly they need to be done. Just as important is the fact that in order for any technology to work, including AI, is that the technology itself must be able to work fully with the legacy IT system as well as the workflows and the processes around it. So in order to speed up the, putting in AI, companies have a lot of work to do.
There are also concerns about sustainability. There are sustainability concerns about AI, but also about all those new technologies that are arriving in business. Yeah. On the contrary, do you think that AI can help to cope with those sustainability issues?
I do believe so.
Yes.
I also, in addition to AI, I also do some work in circular economy. Mm-hmm. And there has been talk about how to use AI, for instance, to design and come up with new products that are more sustainable. But I think that is only one end of a very long spectrum. At the other end of the spectrum, what we can also see is that we can use AI, for instance, to reduce waste, such as paper. In part of my work at Nexus, one thing I realized, one thing we're actually doing, not just realizing, what we're doing is that we can actually use AI to read documents, and as opposed to getting humans to read them. And the result is that we managed to save a lot of actual paper that needs to be printed for humans to eyeball.
There are also lots of concerns about the future of work. How do you think we can get prepared right now to face the changes that will happen in work because of AI?
Yeah, I think there is an exaggeration as to how much AI or any technologies can do when it comes to job elimination.
Exactly.
But it doesn't actually hide the fact that we still need to actually prepare ourselves for a different type of work, workplace in the future. So I think there are three things that I can actually think of, and these forms the cores in the MSc degree that we are offering. The first one is I think we absolutely need to develop cognitive skills. So whether they're leadership or persuasions or simple personal communications.
Skills the machine don't have.
Exactly, exactly, or cannot do. Not even close. Second thing is people need to actually get a good grasp of the business side of technologies. At the moment, what I can see from my work at Nexus is that there are technical people and there are business people, but closing these gaps required a lot of knowledge and different types of thinking. The third thing I think everyone people needs to actually think about is transformation management themselves. There will be a lot of transformations that will be done. As a result of implementation of new technologies. So being able to manage this this environment is absolutely critical. I mean, even at my age right now, I still need to actually continuously improve my own skills in order to survive, simply because technologies are developing at a pace that is so fast that, I need to make sure my own survival.
Well, thank you, Terence C, for sharing your experience and for those few tips. And for those who want to know more, to learn more, I remind the title of your book, The AI Republic, Building the Nexus Between Humans and Intelligent Automation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me, Thibault. Thank you.